Hey, booktube, science fiction reads here with a small little book haul here. Everything here I bought over the last couple of months from Norm at the bookstore on Pluto, which is a local to me website that he runs. I met him selling him books or buying books off him or something. And every now and then I will buy books off him. You should check out his site, good prices and cheap shipping. So what I have here is just what I've collected over, or finally collected from him from the last couple months. We have from his $1 or $2 bin, which is books that are not of the greatest condition, but are still, you know, totally fine for reading or collecting. The Sky is Filled with Ships by, who's that by? Oh, Richard C. Meredith, yeah. An author I want to check out. I think Ira at SF Books of Wonder just read something by him, I think, maybe? We All Died at Breakaway Station. Is that Meredith? I can't remember now. There's another book by him I have that I want to check out too. I got this copy of The Demon Breed by James Schmitz, which I already own, but my copy is rough, faded, quite beat up, so that is a nice upgrade. Of course, I have that in the anthology books I recently read, which was collected all his stuff from his universe of the Federation of the Hub, but I still like having, you know, the vintage copy of the book. From 1968, but this is an Ace printing from 1981. Then I got something from Pamela Sargent, The Shore of Women, which is in the kind of post-apocalypse future where I guess society is run by women who live in walled-off cities and men kind of live in the wilderness in tribes kind of thing. Story of forbidden love with a woman who's outcast from society and falls in love with some wild man or something. I don't think I've read even a Pamela Sargent's short story, so she's got that Venus trilogy I want to read as well. I've got the first two of those. Fritz Lieber, Swords in the Mist. This was from his $1 or $2 bin because it's got a bit of a tear in the cover, but otherwise it's fine. And I bought that because I have an older copy, but it's detached, totally loose, so I think I'll just replace it. These are Fafhrd and the Grey Mouser stories, I believe. Yeah, Fafhrd and the Grey Mouser, which are, you know, sword and sorcery, and that's a genre I've been getting into lately, or recently, and this is like one of the landmarks of the genre I need to check out. Sword and sorcery or Sword and Planet? I think Sword and Sorcery. I've got Larry Niven's Man-Zin Wars. I have no interest in collecting these Man-Zin War books, but this is the first one, which you don't see that often. I've never come across it in the wild, so I got that off Norm. I don't know if they all have Larry Niven stories in them, but I mean, this one at least does have a story by Niven, so that's cool. I will check that out eventually, but I'm not going to collect all the Man-Zin War stuff, unless I absolutely love this. In my next video, which will be a recent reads and books that I got on holiday, I'll talk about a Brian Aldiss book I read that I did not care for, but this is one I'm excited to get to. I have wanted this for quite a while, Hot House, but could never find it. And then Ira read it and did a video on it, which got me interested in it again, and I checked Norm's site and he just happened to have it, so. There's actually another version with different cover art that I would love to have. I'll have to try and find it, maybe I'll post it, but yeah, I'm happy to have this. This will probably be the next Brian Aldiss I check out. Then another upgrade of sorts. This is Gordon R. Dickson, The Dorsai Man, The Star Road, which is a collection of short stories. I don't know if they're all Dorsai related. I've read one book by Dickson, which It was a Daw Yellow Spine, but I can't remember what it was. It was absolutely terrible. I hated it. Uh, but I'm gonna check Dixon out again, and probably I'll do it with short stories. So I got this Daw, which is in really great shape. And if as a Daw, it should have a picture, yeah, a little illustration in the front. This is from August 1974. And it is replacing the book club edition that I've had for a couple of years on my shelves because I want to check his short stories out, but I don't need this, so I'm happy to have a smaller paperback. I'll get rid of this. Another one I wanted for a long time, which I know nothing about. I don't think I've heard anybody talk about it except maybe Outlaw Bookseller has talked about the author, possibly. I can't remember now. It's Candyman by Vincent King, which sounds like just a wild drug trip of a story in a weird future society. I'm not sure the cover art is relevant to the story. We'll find out someday. This is published by Sphere. 1973, copyright 71. I like Sphere books, and I love the cover there. I should see if the artist is credited. No, don't think so. But yeah, a wild cover. Can't remember how I came across that one years ago. I decided to track it down. What else do we have here? Another one from his $1 or $2 bin. Basically, anytime he has something I want, before I purchase it, I'll check his cheap section, and often there'll be something in there I want. This is Mad Empress of Callisto by Lynn Carter, part of his Callisto series. I have several of them now. I think the main character, or one of them, is Jandar. So I have several of these. He's got more of them on the website now that I could have bought, but I'm not in any rush to check these out. I just slowly collecting them here or there. Doris Pachercha's Earthchild, Daw. I've read a couple of her books. I think both of which were Daw's too. This is, again, like a weird far future, last human in a very strange society. The thing that caught my attention was that there's a giant ocean of just protoplasm that's sentient. I might read this soon just for a trippy experience. I'm sure I've read something else by her as a Daw that had Earth in the title. Yeah, Earth and Twilight, which I'm sure there's no actual connection. I don't think these are part of a series or anything, but she does have nice Daw cover art. All right, a few analogs here. This is September 1986. I got this because just the cool Werner Vinge cover art for a story called, what is it? The Barbarian Princess. I just liked the cover art. I like that it's a Werner Vinge. I don't think I've read Werner Vinge's short fiction yet, so that'll be one to check out. And I don't think it's serialized or anything. It's just, I think it's all right here. Yeah. Page 12. Another one here. This is from February 1988. No, 1980. I got this because the cover art is a depiction of the Barry Longyear story, Savage Planet, which I read it in a collection of his recently and was talking about it. It's not exactly like a great story or anything. It's just a story I enjoyed, and this depicts the very first scene in the story, which is from the point of view of this alien creature on this planet that humanity is kind of mining. And they're like kind of on the borderline of real intelligence, and humanity kind of screws around with their society kind of thing and how they work, and raises their intelligence in the process kind of thing. I just love the art. I haven't even looked yet. I'm guessing it's Kelly Freya's. Yeah, it is. You can see it right there on there. One day when I move, when we have a house in a year or so, I'm going to frame a bunch of these. I have a few framed right now, and always with cover art that depicts a story I like. And this would be one that I would probably frame. And one more, this is August 1971. I have grabbed this because it has a depiction of The Lion Game by James H. Smits. Although I didn't do my homework, it's only the first half of the story which is in here, which is not really a big deal. I have it in a collection by Bain, but it's cool to have cover art that depicts the story. There's a Paul Anderson story in here, and a couple others from people I'm not so familiar with. Yes, and if you've seen the Da Yellow Spine of The Lion Game, which was turned into a novel, there is another painting, I think by Kelly Freya's as well, of this girl, kind of in the same clothing and same look on the cover art of a Da. So that's cool. Another upgrade of sorts, kind of. I got C.J. Cherryh's Gate of Ivral. I can't remember, is this the first Morgaine story, probably? Morgaine is her kind of time-traveling series. This woman from a future society, I can't remember if it's fractured and fallen apart, and she's just kind of undoing some peripheral damage or something. But the basic background is, and I read this very early on in my SF reading journey, this woman is from a far future society who's kind of traveled back in time and is closing stargates on kind of backwards medieval or barbarian-like planets. And a member of one of these societies joins her in the first book. I think his name was Avanya Chaya or something like that. The name stuck with me for years, but I guess it's fading away. And he kind of follows her as a loyal servant. And it's 4 books, and I really enjoyed them. I don't think they're anything particularly special if I were to reread them. I just really liked them. She's like kind of a tragic figure too. This is a Da Yellow Spine. I've had this later Da edition. I believe it's a later edition. Same kind of cover art. This is the one I read years ago, but I wrapped it with this, kind of a contact paper stuff. It doesn't come off though, and I fear in the years to come it's gonna peel off and take the paint or the cover art with it. So I bought another one. Plus it's a yellow spine. It'll look good with my many other C.J. Cherryh yellow spines. All right, 3 more. One I knew nothing about until I saw it. I bought it for the cover art, and it does seem like an interesting series. It's called the Silistris series by Janet E. Morris, and this is book 4. It's got this epic cover art of kind of this primitive or maybe far future woman. I don't know, she's got some tech, but there's an epic snake in the background. It's just really cool art. This is a Bantam book. So I looked up this series a week or so ago. I don't remember much now, but it sounded interesting, but it also sounds like it'll be hard to find them. This was published 1979. I don't know. It caught my eye, so I looked it up. And I'll keep an eye out for the other books in the series. Then one I have not heard of by David Levy. I have not looked up this author to see if he's very prolific or well-known, but it's The Gods of Foxcroft, which is about a couple who are cryogenically frozen and wake up in a far future where society no longer has love or relationships in it, kind of thing. And these two are trying to, I don't know, be together in a society that doesn't really understand that anymore. It sounds like it could be good or terrible, but I bought it mainly for the awesome cover art, which, let's see if we have any credit for it. No. I might try and track down that artist on the internet because I really like that. And if anyone was curious, this has got to be Michael Whalen, I would assume. Yeah, Michael Whalen art, of course. And the last one I have here is by James White. I don't think I've read any novels by James White. I know he's done the hospital ship stories, but I've wanted this for a while. I don't know where I saw this. Maybe it was on Norm's site in the first place. But it's about some soldiers who are prisoners of war on a backward planet, and one of them devises a plan to escape by stealing a spacecraft. But within his group of rebels who are trying to escape, there's actually another group who kind of like living on this backwards idyllic world and want to thwart his plans and not escape. It's also cool cover art. I like that. Let's see if we have a credit for that. This was published by Ace in 1983, but the story is actually copyrighted 1965. And the art is by Wayne Barlow. And that's it. I'm going to turn this off and go edit my little holiday video, which has probably double the amount of books I had in this one. So if you're in Canada or even the States, it's worth checking out Norm's website, the bookstore on Pluto. Yeah, bookstore on Pluto.ca. And I'll see you in the next one.